Welcome to the cockpit. My name's Ryan, and I'll be your pilot tonight. Boys and girls, I am joined alongside my co-pilots. I've got, which way is my finger pointing? Matt O'Leary. There we go, Matt O'Leary. And Green Bean, the Jets fan. Boys, how you doing tonight?
Matt? Doing good. I am doing good. I've never, we're doing the setup a little different, so I never got to really see the intro before. I am fully cranked to midnight. That was phenomenal, Ryan.
Oh, man, dude, it's like I'm just so excited. Green Bean, how you doing tonight?
I'm in the mood to be Freeze Bean tonight, so let's get this rocking. We'll do it right.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Boys and girls, we're going to be doing a giveaway at the end of this stream. We're going to have Nightbot pick out some names throughout the course of this stream. We're going to have those people qualify, and then we'll pick someone at the end. And O'Leary, Greenby, what are you guys thinking about possibly doing some video call-ins today?
Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, curveball. I didn't discuss this before.
I'm afraid.
I'm a little frightened, but I think it would be fun. I think we'll be fun. So what I'm going to do is we're not going to do the live call-ins just yet, but I am going to post the link in the live chat. I'll pin it once I can click on the little pin thing. I'm going to pin it to the live chat. So if you guys want to jump in and talk with us about some of the things we're discussing, I'll throw you in, but you may be sitting there a little while because I want to go over some of the conversations and topics that we got possibly brewing around in our heads. And we got a mock draft. Chris Sims released a mock draft. We can go over that in a little bit. We got a whole bunch of stuff. Johnny Bravo says, video calls, we're going to get wild.
I think so.
No clothes! There's one rule. There's one rule. Oh, jeez. Ryan got a haircut. Ryan got all his hairs cut, actually. Thank you, Eric, for noticing.
Yeah.
That is very nice of you. So Crates, what's up, brother? I see you over there. All right. So Crates. I love Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
So good, dude.
It's so good. Half the people in the chat probably have no idea what I'm talking about.
I know. Did you see part 3? I didn't see part 3. I got to do it. I don't know why I didn't. The new one?
I've never seen part 3. I've never I've only seen I don't know if I've seen the second one.
Really?
I don't think I've seen the second one. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I don't think no, I definitely haven't seen that.
That's funny.
Yeah,
the third one, they're like in the 50s, still not making that damn song that they're supposed to make.
It's such a great show. Or I should say movie, not show. All right, boys and girls, we got like 200 people in here. We got 41 likes. Disappointed. For every 50 likes we get, I will drop another qualifier in the chat.
I like
that. That's a good one, right? Like, I haven't really thought about doing that before. So let's see. We crossed the 50 threshold. So let's let Nightbot select our person. Got some cool plans for draft night. We're going to be able to share some of our screen information, things that we're looking at. Oh, Joe Blewett's in the chat. What up, my friend?
What's up,
Joe? We will be sending you the link come draft night, so that way you could pop in whenever you'd like. All right, so C_Wally is one qualifier for tonight, and we cleared the 100 mark. So let's do another. See, this is fun. I like this. We're gonna get a zillion comments because more people want to win a shirt.
Shirts are good.
Yeah.
Shirts
oh, congratulations,
good,
Joe. Joe got married this past Saturday. I was watching your Zach Wilson video, and I was like, "Oh man, I forgot you told me you were getting married this weekend or this past weekend." And I didn't text you, and I'm really sorry. I feel like a bad dude.
Congrats, Joe.
But then I got excited, and I'm watching the videotape of Wilson. I was like, "Oh my god, this is great!" Yeah. So congratulations, Joe.
Congratulations, Joe. Good shit, man.
Yeah. All right. Let's do a little. Let's see. I'm going to share a screen. let's talk about Chris Sims mock draft, because I feel like we've gone through a bunch of stuff. Are there any topics we want to cover before we start looking at mock drafts? Has anything happened in the last week that's like noteworthy, you think?
Not anything new, just a lot of bad mock drafts coming out. Like the Patriots guy who did the mock draft that had Barmore at 23.
Ugh, dude,
painful.
Well, if he's going by the Jets history, it's not a bad bet. Fucking ridiculous.
Luis Sanchez was the other one. Sorry, Luis Sanchez. I got all excited. I had Nightbot select a winner or qualifier, and I just kept moving off of it. God, I'm just too excited. That's what happens. Let's see. I saw super chat in here. Boom, Mike Galizia says, "Blew it. Congratulations, brother." Jet fans are all sobbing a little bit for you because game over, dude. You're locked in now. He says, "Nah, she's a good lady." I love it. All right, so let's talk about Chris Sims mock draft, because I heard this mock draft and I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. And a few things, I guess, I shouldn't say a few things, because I will say picks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, definitely all locked in for me. I think that is the correct top 5 that is going to happen. Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle both seem like interesting picks at number 6 for Miami, but both those receivers said they liked Mac Jones over Tua. So it feels like maybe that might not be the play they make. I think they seriously miscalculated their board. The Dolphins did, when they thought, I think they thought a quarterback was going 4 and Penei Sewell was going to go 5, and they were going to get their pick of the litter of Pitts or Chase at 6. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't necessarily think that Atlanta's going to take Pitts there. I think a team trades up for a quarterback. I'm still on team 4 quarterbacks in a row to start this draft.
Ooh, really? What about you, Greenbean? What are you thinking?
I do not think I have a hard time seeing Sewell slide past Cincinnati, dude. They're coming off a number 1 pick quarterback having a season-ending injury, and they have a really potentially Hall of Fame type left tackle sitting there, who some say is the best overall player in the draft. Some say the best left tackle to come out in a decade. I find it difficult to believe that they're going to go for a receiver when he stands alone in the tackle department. And as far as Pitts, I think Atlanta. I agree with Matt. I think that Atlanta's hearing calls. I don't know if they're going to get the deal they want, because man, Pitts would be special. And look, they were the team that had Tony Gonzalez. Like, they know the difference of having a truly game-breaking tight end over there. So I don't know. I think it's 50-50 with that. And I actually think the San Francisco 49ers are going to take Trey Lance. That's my thought.
Me too.
On that. Yeah, I saw that, Matt. I saw your I think it was your most recent mock.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I that's what I feel like Trey Lance is going there. So I think this is possible, but I have difficulty seeing it this way. And that increases throughout this particular draft. I find
this draft, I don't love this draft at all. Like, I want to believe in Chris Sims and his like ranking of Zach Wilson being the top quarterback on his board, but it's not. Like Justin Fields. Look at, I mean, this is the big glaring one right here. Justin Fields falling to 32.
Insane.
Feels like a goddamn travesty. That should not happen.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, when I'm looking at the rest of this, I would be pretty upset, I think, if the board broke like this, because there is no one that I really want. Elijah Vera Tucker goes 14. Kwity Paye goes 18. Caleb Farley, 19. Jalen Phillips, 21. Tevin Jenkins, 22. Kind of leaves me feeling like I would have liked the Jets to have either traded up just a few picks. I mean, you really could have gone up. That whole basically 5 picks in front of the Jets are all players that I would have been okay with the Jets taking. I mean, maybe aside from Slater. Not that I'd hate that.
I like Slater too.
Yeah, it feels like if that's the way the board broke, that's probably like the worst case scenario. You'd have to be like trading down, I think, if you're the Jets at this point.
So, and he's also saying that Landon Dickerson who I happen to like a whole bunch, is going to go way before Creed Humphrey. Creed Humphrey's not even on here. Am I missing him?
No, he's not on this one. I think Creed and Landon are two totally different types of centers. Like I feel like Landon would almost fit the Gase style of offense better, and I feel like Creed would fit the LaFleur style of offense. Just because from everything I've been reading, Dickerson is more of like the heavier guy as opposed to the agile center that is Creed Humphrey. So if Pitt kind of thinks if that's the well, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, is that the defining line there that pushes Pittsburgh to that decision over Creed? Like I don't know. I think Chris is just trying to fire people up. You don't put Fields at 32 if you don't want to fire people up.
That's true. That to me is absolutely crazy. There are a couple of things that are interesting that I'd like to touch on. For instance, Alex Leatherwood in the first round. I think he goes in the first round, and I got like murdered online in my mock draft for saying that I thought Leatherwood was a first round player. And I've been hearing a lot about, and this is a player I like, but I don't see him as a first rounder, Tyson Campbell. I've heard a lot of juice in the last few days that someone's going to take Tyson Campbell in the first round. I don't know if I buy that, but I think he's a little bit raw still, but the athleticism is definitely there. I think he's a second round guy, but some interesting stuff at the back end of this for sure.
Yeah, I mean, let's take a look at the corners real quick. You got Surtain going 10, JC Horn going 12. Then you've got Caleb Farley 19. Oh, where is Newsome? Newsome's not on here, right?
No.
He's ahead of Tyson Campbell. Okay. So that means you possibly get him at pick 34. I guess let's touch on the Jets' Joe Tryon pick at 23. I think I like Joe Tryon. I had him mocked to the Jets, I think round 3 originally. And I like Joe Tryon. I don't like Joe Tryon at 23. But let's just say, for all intents and purposes, let's say we go Tryon at 23. What direction? I mean, the Jets have to go guard at 34 then. Like, you have to be taking one of Wyatt Davis or Creed Humphrey, I would think, at 34.
Yeah, I like, to me, edge at 23 isn't a crazy thought. I mean, look at Robert Saleh and what he did in San Francisco. To me, it's just the player of Joe Tryon there. He didn't play last year, which really dropped his stock down. And I mean, he might be a good player, but that just seems way, way out of left field. Like, I haven't seen any kind of mocks with him there. I'm not huge on him, but I would rather go Rousseau, because at least you have somewhat of an idea at that point, where Tryon is such a risk in that spot.
I wonder if Rousseau realized, like, him opting out dropped him from like a top 10 pick to like bottom of the first round now. Like, I've seen him anywhere from pick 20 to like 34. I've seen him available in a few mocks with us at 34. Which is weird, because Joe Tryon opted out as well.
Right. I know.
How did one go over?
No, it doesn't compute to me, some of this stuff. Now, you don't want to. I mean, the draft always goes differently than I think. I get a lot more positions than I do players. It's interesting, like, especially with like cornerbacks and edge rushers. Teams happen to like last year with the wide receivers, Jalen Reagor getting picked before Justin Jefferson. Like, it's crazy sometimes how teams have certain players rated and all that. But I think Rousseau, just like last year, remember right around now, Andrew Thomas was the 4th of the top 4 left tackles. Remember that? And they were saying Jedrick Wills or Tristan Wirfs first. He saw Becton. And then when it all settled down, it went back to its rightful order, and Andrew Thomas went first because, he was the most pro ready. He was the guy. He was truly the top rated tackle in the draft last year. So he went first when it all settled down. I think Rousseau is going to be the first pass rusher off the board. Still, I think it'll settle back down, and he'll be taken somewhere in that top 10, top 15.
I'm laughing a little bit at the comments underneath the top comment. It says, "How are you employed by a sports network?" It's got like 4,500 likes. Oh, geez. Oh, Chris Sims. I was really hoping you'd be dialed in with this Jets first round pick here. Let's see. Have there been any other mock drafts that have kind of come out that we want to touch on? The Chris Sims one was one that jumped out at me as like, okay, this is banana land.
It is banana land.
I
don't know if there's really another one that jumps to my. I don't remember that guy from New England, what his name was, but his mock of Barmore at 23 gave me some tough feelings.
Yeah, I don't like it. Do you guys? Let's see. Do we want to do a mock draft in a little bit, like a 9 o'clock mock? Throw that up because I can have it populate in the.
Sure, if you want.
Yeah, why not? I'm just having fun with the whole Streamlabs thing or StreamYard thing, just clicking around and doing stuff.
It's a new toy. Okay, you guys want to play with my new
that's
toy?
just a bam. See, look at that. Look, I could swap screens and stuff super fast. All right, let's jump into a few comment questions, or not comment questions, but video questions here. We got a few guys queued up. Steve T, are you ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready, Steve T. Yeah, there we go. All right. Steve T joining the show. What's up, Steve? How you doing?
What's up, boys? Big fan of everyone. It's nice to talk to you guys for the first time.
Hey,
yeah, glad to have you on, dude.
Welcome.
Yeah. Just wanted to say, random question I had. Besides the Jets in the first round, when do you think the board is going to start being different? In terms of trades. Like I think the number 4 pick is the first pick we might potentially see a trade. But just wanted to see what other picks you think might be swapped. Throughout the first round.
I think there's an off chance that I think 4, yes, is going to be where the draft starts because you're getting 3 quarterbacks in a row, and then we don't know what 4 is.
Mm-hmm.
As weird as it is, I feel like Miami could be a very odd spot. Like I think they miscalculated.
I heard they might want to trade up again.
I was going to say they might either want to trade up or trade down because of how everything sort of happened. And like that's, I mean, it's good for us because like they traded up from 12. It's like, oh, go kick rocks. You're not getting either player you want. I don't know who I want them to take. Like, do we want them to take a tackle that's going to have to move from left tackle to right tackle because Tua is a lefty?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. But one other thing that I thought was interesting that I saw today, and Green Bay made a great video about this. About the Jets press. The negativity around the league. Just looking at our past, not looking at the current situation that we're actually building. And another example is how come, last year the Titans right tackle, Isaiah, whatever, he's not even in the league anymore. That number 1, that's a first round pick from a year ago. The Jets did it. Forget about it. Imagine what would happen there. Exactly. The Dolphins, look at the Dolphins free agents last year. They're all gone, cut or traded after the who's the tackle that got traded today? That was on the Giants. Flowers.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. So every big free agent from last year that Miami signed is gone already. So it shows you that,
What about Byron? Byron Jones has got to still be there, I would think. Or did they get rid of him too? I don't know. I have not paid attention to the Dolphins like at all. I've been so off base on the Dolphins.
But yeah, it just proves like, you guys all say it, but especially Green Bean, it just shows that the Jets are just, the trash bag for the media to talk about. They love just pounding everything we do. But if you actually look, I mean, I even tell all my friends about this. The Jets are probably in the best position in, I'd say, the last 10 to 15 years. If you look at everything, we've had other chances to improve. I think, if Bowles was fired, McCann were both fired after the 2018 season, when Bowles was fired that day, I think we could have, maybe leapfrogged a little bit and maybe Sam would be successful right now. Who knows? But I think this is the most setup we've been in a long time, and we have a lot of options.
Yeah, I would say since probably 2008. 2008 felt like the last time we were really like locked and loaded. We brought in Favre. And then you get Sanchez the next year, and those 3 years in conjunction, 08, 09, and 2010, were just.
How long
so
was
exciting.
Mangini here? Was he here for 2 or 3 years?
I want to say it was 3 or 4, yeah, because he had. I guess it would have been what 05, 06, or no 06, 07, 08. Yeah, that makes sense.
We had some great drafts with Mangini.
Yeah,
we did. We had some really top heavy drafts because there was a few drafts that we only had like 2 picks. And it was like because they do like wheeled and dealed, which is like cool because you're getting like hit. You got Revis, you got Keller, you got Mangold, you got DeBerkeshaw Ferguson. So there was some pretty top heavy drafts there, but then it was also like our depth just fell out. We had don't forget the starters.
Yeah, he got guys like Brad Smith, Drew Coleman, Marquise Cole, Leon Washington. Like, there was a lot of good depth. Once Mangini was gone, Rex and Tannenbaum went ballistic with the top end of the roster, and they did a good job, man. They swung for the fences, and they got us there. Twice we were right at the door, so it worked. But that's the kind of thing, like, if that doesn't work, you're going through years of trying to figure out what's going on because you have no depth. He had 2 drafts in 4 years, 3 picks 1 year and 4 picks another, and that's because of trades like Chris Jenkins and on and on and on. But yeah, it's tough to maintain it for any length of time when you do it that way. I think we're in good shape too, man. And you look at what Joe Douglas is doing. He's the exact opposite. He's working on the foundation, the depth first. Like, he's building up instead of going like, grabbing like Le'Veon Bell and CJ Mosley and not even knowing who your center is. You know what I mean? Like, we have no idea who our center and left tackle or right tackle are, but we got CJ Mosley and we got Le'Veon Bell. And it's like, that's great and all. It makes the papers.
Yeah, so I guess I'll say one last thing, and then I'll let you guys get to some other callers. But you ever notice, so Zach Wilson was, I think he peaked in, the hype train probably like, a month or two ago. But then as soon as the Jets are locked in, this is when the criticism comes out. We don't hear about Trevor Lawrence since we lose the number 1 pick. It's just everything is always against our team, even if it has nothing to do with the actual story itself.
They hate us. The media hates us. It's us against the world. Screw everyone else. I'm done with this shit.
They're in for a rude awakening, I think. Like, I don't think we're playoffs this year, but I think 2022, I think you definitely need to at least, probably make the playoffs next year for Joe Douglas to really be secure, and have no speculation. But I think this is, the first time, like, when did we have both a good GM and a head coach at the same time? I don't remember it, honestly. Maybe 2010 for a little bit. You thought so, maybe? I don't know.
I think that. Yeah, I would say 10 when it was like, okay, we have a loaded roster right now. I was so disappointed. There was a few people that left. I think it was just before. When did Kerry Rhodes leave? I think he was here for 2009. I think he was gone in 2010.
Yeah.
That was like, that hurt. And then our safety sucked forever. I feel like we haven't had a good free safety since Kerry Rhodes. Like a legit free safety, like a ball hawking guy.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the time, guys. It really, really nice talking to you guys for the first time, and I'll talk to you guys in the future.
Right on.
Awesome. Take it easy, brother. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Oh, that was fun. All right. I like these video calls. This is a good time. All right. Let's bring in Jeremy. Jeremy is coming in. What's up, brother? Welcome to Talkin' Jets.
What's up? I'm so pumped.
What's good, dude? How you feeling? You excited for draft?
I'm excited for draft. It better not go the way Chris Sims thinks it's going to go. So,
oh, God, I'd be so upset. You can see me throwing shit back here.
I mean, I got nothing wrong with an edge, but, I don't think it's a weakness of the team right now. So it's not what I'm looking for with that pick at all.
No, I feel like that 23 pick, like, I want it desperately to be an offensive lineman or a really good corner. And I'm just like even seeing edge there's not an edge that I think I really love at 23. Like Jalen Phillips, I feel like is one at 34 I would really like. I don't know if there's one that falls to 23. Kwity Paye maybe might be like my guy if I had to like take one.
It feels like it's just throwing darts. I mean, there's so many names for edge that were just all in this one big group, but there's no like standout monster or anything. And if there was, they'd be gone anyway in the top 10. So
there's really no. This doesn't feel. It feels like a deep edge class because there's some guys in like the second and third round that I like, but not so much in the first. It's kind of weird. They're all sort of grouped together for me.
Well, you know what? Here's something that I heard. I'm sure you guys heard it too. In this particular draft, there are more teams expressing an interest to trade back in the first round than any other draft in NFL history so far, at least what we know. Beforehand. So what that speaks to, number one, is that they think they're looking at this draft as the sweet spot is between the second and fourth round. Like, so it's deeper than it is top heavy overall. Like there are those superstars, those blue chippers, Panay Sewell, Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, and the quarterbacks and such. They are there. But really, if they can go from pick, 12 or 13 or 14 back to the 20s and gain a third or a second, that's what a lot of teams are willing to do. So it might be a little difficult. for a lot of teams to trade back because more teams are looking to go back than go up. And that, again, speaks to how deep this draft is. Like you were saying, Ryan, it's like, I don't love anybody, up top, but there's a bunch of guys I like in the second and third. It's interesting when you say it like that, but I get it. And it's accurate. It's like that's premium capital up there, and you want to make sure you use it on somebody who's a plug-and-play starter and has an impact. So if you don't feel that way, getting extra third and taking 2 swings as opposed to the one, it makes sense. So that's interesting. I thought that was a little nugget that made a lot of sense to me.
So, Jeremy, if you had to pick your ideal, whether it be player or position, what do you want the Jets to target at 23? How would you like to see the board kind of fall?
I'm definitely an OL in that, and for 23, definitely an interior offensive lineman. But Matt really sold me on the possibility of a cornerback as well, especially because it feels like there is a chance that we can still build the interior with 34. I trust Joe Douglas is going to read the board too, right? I mean, like by that time he'll have some information of what's happening. So maybe he'll get some kind of read on the board, and of course it just depends on who's there. It's like if Newsom's there, it's going to be really tempting. But if it came down to someone like Tevin Jenkins and Newsom, I say Tevin Jenkins because I love that guy. I love that guy.
Yeah, that's kind of where I fall as well. I feel like it depends if Jenkins or Elijah Vera Tucker fall to 23. I think those are the 2 linemen to look at. After that, I think you have to look at Wyatt Davis and say, okay, are you comfortable with Wyatt Davis at 34? Because more than likely, he's definitely going to be there at 34. So then now you're considering at 23, I think where Matt and I are Caleb Farley, Greg Newsome, those elite wide cornerback prospects that have a little bit of injury history, but you could be getting a elite caliber player at a premium position with a cheap 5th-year option. And I think that's something you kind of got to take a look at. Matt, what are your thoughts on how that board could break?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think Jeremy hit it, is that it really is dependent on what happens right in front of the Jets. And if there's an offensive lineman there, then that's definitely my preference. Newsome, I would definitely have to consider there, again, depending on which offensive lineman is. Farley scares me so much with that back because that's not something that goes away. So that's something that he's going to have to deal with for his entire career. And that is just a massive red flag to me. Could he make it in the pros? Of course he can. He's a great, talented player, but that injury red flag is just a lot higher for me on him than it is for even a player like Newsome.
So let's say we get someone like Jenkins or Elijah Vera Tucker at 23 and Caleb Farley sitting there at 34. And I don't know what other players you're looking at 34, but like he's clearly like potentially the best, but the injury concern is there.
That's a little bit different, I guess, because 23, I know it's only what? I'm not a math guy. How many picks back is that?
9 picks, I think. Matt,
doesn't matter. 11, maybe 23. And
it's 9, 23 to 34. No, so, 11. Shit, yeah, man, 11. I'm bad at math.
So that's different. You have to get plug and play starters right away. If for whatever reason you missed on a swing like Caleb Farley in the second round, it's not nearly as catastrophic as what it would be in the first round.
Especially if you got a guy, especially if you got a guy like that. If you got a guy like Jenkins or Vera Tucker.
Right.
Well, that makes everything so much sweeter. And I think what I like about Jenkins and Tucker is they both play tackle, but are projected to play guard. So in a pinch, like Becton goes down or he's out for, a game, you can slide them over and you at least have a shot. It's not like you're just starting, Chuma Edoga out there on the edge, I think. I think that's the valuable part for me for those players. So Jeremy, any other questions for us, brother?
No, I already asked Matt how he likes onions on his burger, but I put it in the chat. I just wanted to tell Green Bean, hey man, just remember when you go on the Cyclone in Brooklyn, eat the Nathans after. Don't eat Nathans before you go on the Cyclone.
That's a good tidbit. Yeah, I'll be announcing. Maybe you'll come with us, man. I'm going to be announcing it this week. I have the date all picked out and everything for a New York Jets fan meetup in front of the Cyclone. We're going to get on there. Maybe you come out there and we'll all eat Nathan's first, like you said.
Well, I'm in Sacramento. I'm in Sacramento
that.
now, which I'm in Sacramento now, which is why I love you guys, because like I'm in nowhere's man's land here. There's like no Jet fans, so this is like my connection to like being able to talk Jets. So it's great.
Right on.
Dude, I love that. That's awesome. The fact that we're able to reach a Jet fan audience like across the country and have like, because we get people from like New Zealand, from California, from like all these crazy different areas, and it's nice because I guess in my mind I'm always thinking like, oh yeah, the Jet fans are this little redheaded stepchild of New York, and there's not many of us, but we really see in this type of forum that we're pretty deep. We run deep as a fan base. I love it. Jeremy, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and I hope you're tuning in to hang out with us come draft night.
Absolutely. I'll be there, guys. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
I love it. That was Jeremy. Oh,
Nice.
man, that was good. That's fun. I like these video call-ins. It's
cool to put a face to the name.
That's exactly it, yeah, because there's a lot of people that I see like pop up in the chat all the time, and there's just never a name or a face to go with said person. Tony Lee jumps in with Super Chat, says mock draft. First, Wilson, Newsom. Second, Pat Freiermuth. Third, Wyatt Dave. Wait, hold on. What am I looking at here? Oh, the third round he's saying is Wyatt Davis. And your guy, Kenny Gainwell. I know tight end, but I think he could ball on this team. Okay, so he's saying Zach Wilson at 2, Newsom at 23, Freiermuth at 34, Wyatt Davis in the third round. If Wyatt Davis makes it to the third round, that's impressive. I don't think that's happening. I think he will go. Yeah, I think he's going to go higher than that. I like Gainwell. I don't know if I want to touch running back before the fourth round, but I guess if you sold me on Gainwell, it's okay. I know apparently we were pretty high on some of the North Carolina running backs.
Both of them are good. Carter and what's the other one? Williams.
Yep. Yeah. Javon Williams, I think. Is that the name?
Yeah, Javonte.
I feel like that name's sticking out to me. I know Green Bean probably likes tight end. Do you like tight end in the second, Green Bean, or are you just like tight end in general?
Honestly, man, I wouldn't be afraid to take Freiermuth in the first, like with 23. I wouldn't be afraid. I don't think it's likely, nor do I disagree wholeheartedly. But yeah, I'd be fine with taking a tight end at 34 for sure. But I think what's more realistic is that we'll use a third on a tight end, and there's a chance Brevin Jordan will be there, which I would really like. But I think a guy like Hunter Long might make more sense in this offense, and that'd be fine. I happen to, as you guys know, I like a nice batch of these tight ends, and in this particular offense, man, tight end is a premium position, and we've addressed receiver and our tight ends as much as we're all hoping for Chris Herndon. I'm there too. He's there another year. I think if Chris Herndon is relegated to the second tight end, I think that might be actually a positive for his career. So, yeah, I think I'd be totally fine with taking a tight end a little earlier. If I could take one up too.
Can I make an edit to this mock? And instead go with the offensive line at 34. So either let's say Humphrey or Leatherwood, and then Tommy Tremble in the third round where Wyatt Davis is. I think I'd rather do that. Agreed.
I would be on board with that. I don't want to wait till the third round to get our offensive lineman. That scares the ever living life out of me.
Yeah, me too.
That said, Orlando Brown, that was just traded, was a former third round pick. So you could get elite talent in the that second, third, fourth round. It's a little bit of a, hope and a prayer. That's okay. Guys, we have 150 likes on this video. Every 50 likes we get, we are going to pick a qualifier for a shirt that is going to be given away at the end of the stream. We already have C. Wally and Luis Sanchez as qualifiers. Nightbot's about to pick another one. So let's see what we got. If you guys like the stream and you want to have your opportunity to get a shirt, all you got to do is hit the like button. Triple B 29 Rob. Triple B 29 Rob. You are qualified to win a shirt at the end of the stream. I should wait a few more seconds because we're at 193 now. I feel like we're going to eclipse 200. Pretty quick. Get it there. you want to just help us out from a YouTube algorithm point of view. YouTube views these live streams as regular videos. So if you drop comments, you drop likes, things like that, it helps push this into more eyes, and it kind of gets that Jet fan community just a little bit stronger.
Oh yeah,
I like it. Here we go. We got another one. John Post says Nightbot hates me. I don't understand Nightbot at all, and I'm the one that set Nightbot up. I don't get it. It's just he doesn't. I feel like I see names that are okay. There we go. RTM 10823. I haven't seen that name pop up yet. Usually Joe S gets picked like 3 times. I can't figure out why that's happening.
loves him.
Throws me for a loop. Let's see. I saw a super chat in here. Where did it go? Gangrene 317 says, should we double dip at linebacker in the late rounds? Thoughts? For me, I feel like linebacker, I don't want to address it until the 3rd round. I would be okay in round 3 at either pick taking a linebacker that Robert Saleh really likes. I think the first 3 picks have to go quarterback, O-line or corner, and then O-line, corner, or edge at the other pick. I would be fine with double dipping at O-line, but O-line has to be taken in that first chunk of picks. In terms of linebacker, I don't know if I want to wait till the late rounds. I think getting one that Saleh likes and thinks could be a mainstay in the 3rd round is probably good, considering Mosley's probably gone at the end of this year and Jarrad Davis is only on a 1-year contract. Unless they think there's a possibility of us retaining either one of them moving forward, then I guess linebacker is not as big of a need as you may have otherwise thought. Matt, let's throw it to you first. What are your feelings about the linebacker position for the Jets?
Not great. Don't like the idea of double dipping at linebacker. I just think there are far too many needs on this team, and to go 2 on inside linebacker would be a little bit much for me. I think I'm looking 4th and 5th round seems to be my sweet spot for where I think you can find a pretty decent linebacker. I really like Monty Rice a lot. I think he's a versatile player, and someone who plays with good tempo and speed. It's a hard sell to get me on one in the 3rd round, just because I'm thinking, in my head, positions that I want to attack. Quarterback's obviously going at 2. And then with your other first, your second, and your 2/3. So you got 4 more picks.
Mm-hmm.
Corner, offensive line. And then from there, do I want to go to linebacker at that point? I think I'd rather go back to corner or edge at that point, or a weapon for the quarterback, because like that's another thing too. You probably need a running back. You need a deep threat. Might need a tight end. I don't know if I could justify saying, okay, I'm going to take a inside linebacker at that point before I attack any of those positions.
I think I'm looking, like you said, those first 3, quarterback, cornerback, offensive line. I think that's where the value is in terms of like the drop off from O-line at 23 to 34 and cornerback from 23 to 34. Then when you get into the 3rd round, I agree with you. I do think receivers, especially a deep threat, is one that I'd like to see the Jets go after, or maybe some type of gadget player. Like I know Keelan Cole's kind of gadget-y potentially with the special teams background, but I think someone that could really take the top off of a defense is important. I could see that in the 3rd round. Running back, I think, is a 4th round want for me. And then I guess it depends on edge and how you feel about John Franklin Myers. Can he play on the outside, or is he lining up as a D tackle? Because you got Curry on a 1-year contract. You got Lawson locked in for 3 or 4 years. I think linebacker is going to be a need. I think 3rd round is probably where I feel all right going it. Like if we would decide to kick the can down the line on edge, like maybe it wasn't a this year need because we have the 2 first next year. And if you want to say, I'm actually to the point where if you wanted to say offensive line 23, we get Tevin Jenkins or Elijah Vera Tucker, and then you get Wyatt Davis at 34, I would actually be okay with that. And just say, okay, we're punting on this year from like an overall team building perspective. We're just building around the offense and we're just going to surround him with like a wall. And then next year we're going to hit the ground running. I guess that's kind of where I go.
If you do that, which
yeah.
do that, which I'm not opposed to, then I think you got to go at least 2 corners in round 3 and 4. So in your your 3 picks after that, because you don't have a slot. Javelin Guidry is not going to be your starting slot, and you need another outside corner. But if you do go that route, then that's what I would do after the fact.
I think if I'm passing on corner at 23 and 34, I'm signing Richard Sherman before the draft is over. I think that is my solution for other cornerback for this year. And then next year with 2 first-round picks, I'm taking a corner, I'm taking an edge, next year. So Greenby, what are your thoughts on linebackers late, and how would you like to see the beginning part of, the draft kind of fall from a position standpoint?
Well, I respectfully disagree with my good friend Matt O'Leary, and it sounds like you too. I happen to like when you look at the way that I look at a team is like, so I look at who's on the roster when I start identifying needs, right? So we have 10 picks. We have 2 young cornerbacks. We just brought in 3 defensive line, 2 for the edge position. We brought in 2 wide receivers to go with Mims and Crowder, a 2nd-round pick. We have 3 starting offensive linemen. We have 2 holes and all that. But when I look at linebacker, I literally see 2 people on the team, or 3 really. But C.J. Mosley hasn't played in 2 years. Blake Cashman hasn't made it through. I don't even know, man. What did he play? 5 games his first year and 1 or 2 last year, something like that. So he's to me, he's not even on the team. So when I look at the needs, to me, it's like linebacker. We don't have anyone. Like there's literally, we don't have bodies. Like we have at cornerback, we have Bryce Hall, we have Bless Austin, we have, we have some people that can play. If you put an edge rush there, that's effective. Those guys can be good. And I still think we'll take one, but I think, and not only do I think this, I think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see a linebacker before edge, and we're maybe even cornerback. I think cornerback will probably precede linebacker, but I think that a linebacker is going to be potentially pick number 23, if not pick 66. That's how I see it. And I think because that's the way the value breaks down. If Zaven Collins slides down to 23, when you look at and guys like Vera Tucker and Tevin Jenkins and those cats aren't around, when you're looking at the value of 23 and the depth of the draft, you're going to be able to get Miners and Hainsey and all those guys in the 2nd and 3rd, where the linebackers are going to dip significantly. There are good guys like the guy Matt mentioned, Monty Rice. I happen to like him a great deal. I like Derek Barnes. I like Jabril Cox. I like Charles Snowden. So there's guys that I like a whole bunch. I don't think any of them are on the same level as Zaven Collins, sideline to sideline, very, just excellent coverage linebacker, which is what Saleh asks his linebackers to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if we went with a linebacker when the premium offensive linemen are gone, and the value of the draft is telling you this is the last time you're going to get a premium linebacker, but the offensive line and the cornerbacks are going to be there. Guys like Stokes and Kerry Vincent, and like Matt said, there's nickel is to me biggest need out of the cornerbacks. Like the guys we're all talking about out there. I still think we need an outside cornerback, but as far as that desperate foundational need, Javelin Guidry, man. I mean, look, if he ends up being great, I'm all for it. I struggle. I'm not the biggest Javelin Guidry fan, and even if I was, I would still feel like one body in the slot department scares me. So again, I think linebacker is just a position where we literally don't have anyone, and I see that as a more urgent need than other positions that I hear a lot of people talking about, such as edge, wide receiver, even cornerback. So that's my take.
I think that's fair. I think with linebacker, you got to look at the way Saleh deploys his guys, and he does not want to take those 3 linebackers off the field. So you need someone that can go sideline to sideline. They can stop the run. They can play the pass. Right. Because if you have your 2 outside guys, you have your 2 safeties, and then you have your 4 down linemen. Now you're talking 3 linebackers, or you're talking 2 linebackers, and then you have a slot. So I think linebacker is a sneaky need for us this year. I think 3rd round is where I feel comfortable. 1st round, I'd be pretty, I don't want to say pissed, but I'd be pretty irritated. I think if we took the board would have to fall in like the completely wrong way for me to feel comfortable taking a linebacker at 23. I think like there's a lot of guys I want to see there aside from linebacker, but I see where you're coming from.
I get it. I do, but like think about this. So think about Surtain and J.C. Horner gone. You got Vera Tucker, Tevin Jenkins. All those guys are gone, right? So you're at the next tier of offensive linemen. Really, the top cornerbacks are gone, and you have literally probably the second best linebacker in the whole draft, the Devin Bush to Micah Parsons, Devin White, sitting there. I don't know. It makes sense to me when you look at the value of the pick plus coupled that with positional need. I don't know if it'll happen. I'm just saying I understand if it does because I'm looking at linebacker as an urgent need. So it makes sense to me. While I'm kind of wound this year to go, dude, just take offensive line. Get it done. It's 23, 34, 66. I don't care. Just get us two interior offensive linemen. But again, the board might not speak that way to you. And the really good GMs know how to do that. You know what I mean? Which I'm hoping Douglas is.
Fingers crossed, right? Sal, right. I'm going to jump to you in just a second. We're going to go through this super chat real quick, and then we're going to bring in our buddy Sal. Mud Files, thank you for the super chat. Says, would you pair May and number 23 to trade up to the top 15? Also, if we trade CJ next year, what is his value? If we trade, I wouldn't be opposed to trading CJ. I just don't know what team is going to give up anything like of value compared to like what he could potentially be of value to us. So I don't see a CJ trade really being that possible. I like the idea of trading a player and 23 to move up. That's how I would have liked the Sam Darnold trade to go. I think I would have been okay moving Sam and 34 to get up to, number 19 or something along those lines with Washington or Chicago. With May, I know Green Bean, I don't know if you brought it up last week or if I was just watching one of your videos where you talked about it, but you were talking about the idea of trading May for a second round pick.
Yeah.
Would you prefer May for a second round pick? Because there's a really good likelihood that we don't retain him after the year. The comp pick that we could in theory get would be 2023. Would you prefer to get the second round pick for May and have an additional player, or package May with pick 23 to get up a little higher to have your pick of that, second rung of player like a Elijah Vera Tucker, a Tevin Jenkins?
Right. Well, if I'm being, my top preferred method here would be to keep May for the year. That's first. I think, we have enough needs and all that. Like where that video came from, where there was somebody I was lucky enough to have a chat with. So anyway, he just said, hey, keep an eye on some of these things. Told me about like the Panthers aren't done and so anyway, just little tidbits I threw out there. But I would rather keep May, even though we would lose, even if we're not going to keep him next year. But I understand that thought process, right? So I think I would rather get, so you're saying compare like May and 23 to move up a couple spots, or just May for a second, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I could do that. I could, like, if we're going to trade May, I think moving up a few spots, like throwing Marcus May at a team and moving up to like a spot where you can get Vera Tucker. I think that would be good. Yeah, I think I might prefer that because we have enough picks, I think. You know what I mean? I could always go for another second, but I think we're good quantity-wise. So adding a little quality, if we were going to do it, might be the way to go.
Matt, what about you? What are you thinking about possibly packaging May and 23 to move up into the top 15?
I don't want to trade Marcus May. I don't want to open up another hole. I know you'd be getting a one moving up into the top 15, which is awesome, but you're just creating another need for yourself when you have him on a cheap deal, and there is still a chance you can extend him, or as you said, take the comp pick for him in 2023. I think I'd let the season play out. I don't think I'd want to open up that hole.
I think I'm almost at a point where Matt just said, let the season play out. If they think that May is not going to be here beyond this year, he would be probably our biggest trade chip at the trade deadline. And I'd be okay at that point. If you can get I don't know if you'd get a second round pick for him, but if you could get maybe a third at that point where you just swap out, like, okay, rather than a third in 2023, we're getting one in 2022. It opens up a hole, but then at least you have seen a little bit more of Ashton Davis. You know, who knows what happens with the rest of the secondary. I don't know. I like Marcus May. I want to see him hang around, but I just have a hard time seeing the Jets extending him beyond this year. It feels like the age doesn't match up with the kind of contract he's going to want from us, I think. So interesting stuff there. Yeah. Let's see. I'm just going to flash this on the screen real quick and then pull it out. Steve, we'll get to your super chat in just a sec. I'm going to bring in our buddy Sal. Sal, welcome to Talkin' Jets, brother.
Yo, what's up, guys? Good to be with you tonight.
Nice. Where are you calling from?
Long Island, New York.
Hey, I like it. He's a sneakerhead. I like the shoes.
Yeah, I know you're a Long Island guy, O'Leary. I think I'm in Nassau County as well.
Say me too, South Shore.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, guys, I literally remember like the week after the season ended, you guys were doing the streams every week. We're literally talking about who's going to be the QB, Zach Wilson, or the Jaguars going to take Justin Fields. We're going to trade for Sean Watson, Russell Wilson, and we're literally like, 2 days away? Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Oh man, it has been a long process. The Deshaun Watson thing feels like it was like so long ago because I was so hyped. I was like, man, we are definitely getting him. Like, we're in the best position to get him. And then all these things start coming out. And you're like, Zach Wilson looks kind of nice right now.
I'm a big Wilson guy. And if you guys haven't already checked it out, it came out today. BYU Sports Nation, they do interviews every week. They have a weekly segment with Wilson. They had John Beck on today, who's his QB coach. And he was basically saying a lot of nice things about the Jets. He loves the young infrastructure they have there with Saleh, LaFleur. He talked up Joe Douglas. Basically told Zach Wilson's parents that, look, despite the situation, it being the Jets, if there's someone to turn it around, Zach can do it, and they're going to do everything possible to put the pieces around him, unlike they did with Sam. So, I know it's all but confirmed that he's going to be the pick on Thursday night, but it's good to get some positive talk from especially our future QB coach, just about our team.
Yeah, that's huge. I think the narrative around the Jets for so long has been just a wasteland of garbage first-round picks and not supporting your quarterback. Like Sanchez, you bring him in, he has a loaded team for 2 years, and you take away all his weapons. Geno Smith had no one to throw to. Sam Darnold, same story. No one to throw to, just an awful coaching situation. This feels like the most cohesive GM, head coach, quarterback situation we're going to have. I don't want to say ever, but definitely for a long, long time, for sure. O'Leary, any thoughts on anything, I guess?
Just, I can't wait. We've been talking about, as we said, we've been talking about this forever. When did Zach Wilson pop off? We were all watching that game in
just Boca Raton Bowl, I think.
Boca Raton Bowl. There you go.
Oh man,
been on him since then. It's been a long process, but finally, like, we're going to start to get some clarity to the future of this team, which is it's exciting. I feel like a kid on Christmas, but there's like 3 days left to go. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. And the one thing that's pretty cool, even though it's not going to be talked about, is I think Connor Hughes brought it up in his daily podcast with The Athletic, is like Zach Wilson's going to probably be like the most swaggiest QB we've ever had with the headband and whatnot. And the jersey he's holding up on Thursday nights probably going to be the number that he's rocking, number 1. So literally he's going to be ready to step on the field right there and then.
It's exciting. It's just it's one of those things that I remember, like Matt was saying, we were watching the game, and I think at that point, I don't know if Green Bean had watched much of Zach Wilson at that point. And I was like, yo, Matt, do you see that throw? It's like, yeah. Oh man. And we'd stop and be like, oh man, I want to go back and just watch that stream. Because I want to say it was that game, and then it was the following week that we started doing the Justin Fields and the Trevor Lawrence game. Yep. And then it was the national title game after that. And it just all picked up steam. And it was like one quarterback, then another quarterback. And there were so many different options. And it's just been such a long road to the draft to finally get to this point now. Is really exciting. Green Bean, what are your thoughts on all things draft? How are you feeling?
Well, I feel exactly like Sal said. It's like, dude, it's a long process, man. And there's one wake up, man. It's draft day. You know what I mean? That's it. Today's over. I mean, even though I'm probably gonna stay up till fucking 3 a.m., but it's pretty much over. And I just took a 2.5 hour nap. I'm all geared up. I'm like monster. I'm double fisted monsters. I'm ready. I'm ready to edit. But yeah, I mean, one in a wake up, and that whole day. It's funny. I cleared everything for Thursday. Like I told people, like, hey, I wanted to see. I'm like, no. Like Thursday, not even
Sorry.
at noon. Yeah, it's like noon on Thursday. Sorry, draft. I thought it didn't start till nighttime. You know, it starts 8 a.m. That's when the draft starts for me, and it's going to be all day. But we're here, and when you look at the lineage of how we got here, man, think about it. Just a few months ago, we were nervous that the friendship between Joe Douglas and Adam Gase was gonna prevail, and that we were gonna be stuck with this guy. Yeah, man. I mean, that was a very real concern for many Jets fans. I was confident, but in the back of my head, I'm like, those motherfuckers, man, they've done it before. You know, it was just done the exact opposite. So I think it's going to be really great. It's nice to have a GM that, even though it might not go the way a lot of us expect, we might not agree with every pick, the guy has shown in the short time he's been here that he understands football, how to build a team, how to manage the draft. He at least understands how to do it. Mike McKagan, remember his last draft? He did 3 trades in the 4th round. At the end of it, all he netted was moving up 10 spots in 5th, or like 12 spots. 3 trades to jump up 12 spots in the 5th round. Like, what is this? And then he grabs Trevon Wesco. Like, it made no sense. And that's the thing. It's moves for moves' sake. I don't see that with Joe Douglas. So there's reason for us to be excited. Hopefully we're all happy with it, but I think whatever happens, we're at least in better hands. And it's good stuff, man. I'm psyched to be where we are right now, time-wise.
Dude, we are so excited for the NFL draft. We're going to be giving away 2 jerseys. We're going to be going live for all 3 days. It's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure you guys hang out with us. We're 4 likes away from me picking another qualifier. Every 50 likes we get on this video, we are going to pick a qualifier for a shirt at the end of the stream. So make sure you do that. Green Bean brought up a great point. Like, you guys watch us for this whole live stream, the entire draft, right? What you don't see is once the cameras go off, from like midnight to like 3 a.m, we're making videos, editing, doing all the breakdowns. And then you just ramp up and start it. And what's worse, I think, and you guys can let me know if I'm wrong on this, but day 2 into day 3 just hurt. It was because you had the 2nd round, the 3rd round. So you're making videos on like everything that happened. And then the draft starts at 12 the next day. It doesn't start at 7 at night. It's just, it's grueling. It's fun. I enjoy it, but man, it is a beast of a night. Sal, any other questions for us?
Yeah, I was actually going to throw this one to O'Leary. I know you posted on Twitter, I think it was over the weekend, you were talking about a potential trade down with the Eagles. And I know a few people commented about who like the target would be, and I know someone brought up Slater. But if we were to move up, say the Eagles, there's a lot of other teams that are looking to move back, as you guys stated before. Would it be to solidify that you're getting Jenkins or Vera Tucker? Or if you see Slater start to fall, which I'm kind of skeptical of because I know the Chargers will scoop him up. Yep. I think that's kind of the furthest he goes. But who would you want to go up for if that were to happen?
Yeah, to me, it's the 2 guys you mentioned, Vera Tucker and Jenkins. I think if Joe Douglas was to move up, it would be to, fortify that offensive line. I think he's talked about that so much since he's gotten here. And yeah, sure, it could be fun to trade up for like a Pitts if he falls or a Watt like that. Like, I get it, so fun. But at the same time, if you're able to land someone who you can plug and play on the offensive line and forget about for a decade, like, you do it. And I think for those 2 guys, that would make sense.
Yeah, I think that's where I fall as well. When you're looking at that trade up, I think Vera Tucker and Jenkins are the 2 guys. Like, I'm not trading up for a cornerback. I'm not trading up for a receiver. No. I don't think there's another position I would move up for except for offensive line. Green Bean, where you fall on this?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it all depends on who slides, right? Like, every year there's somebody who everybody's blown away is sliding, And so if somebody, like, for example, let's say that teams get dumb and Jamar Chase is sitting there at pick 18 or 17. It's like, do you jump up to get Jamar Chase? I mean, somebody like that. I mean, what if Micah Parsons somehow is there 4 picks before we pick? Maybe. But I think generally speaking, I would try to trade up for those two guys. Probably. I happen to like Rashawn Slater a whole bunch. I think he's going to be taken much earlier than that. But if he was slide back, he's a guy I would consider jumping back for. He's willing to play guard, and then he could play right tackle, obviously, after the George Fant thing. So anyway, I think it's pretty much offensive lineman for me.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave you guys. I'll leave you guys on this. And you guys remember this with Tunsil, Josh Allen. We're 2 days away from the draft. There are people who are literally scrolling through every single tweet that these players have tweeted in their lives. And all it takes is someone to retweet it just once, and literally someone in the midst of the draft going on can fall.
Oh man, Green Bean. I know it's in your chat. My phone's up on the wall over there. Green Bean, pull up the picture that was in that Instagram chat. Someone sent us I thought it was in your chat. Maybe it was someone that just sent me a chat. It was a picture of Trevor Lawrence with a gas mask bong on. There it is.
Oh yeah.
Everyone starts tweeting it out. Let's send it out. Let's make it happen. Sal, thank you so much for hanging out with us. It was a lot of fun. We look forward to having you with us on draft night.
Yeah, take care, boys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, see you, buddy.
All right, Steven jumps in with the super chat, says, I think this entire draft needs to be about Zach Wilson and his development period. You need to surround him with everything he needs. We are not winning next year anyway. Has to be all about Zach. That's kind of where we were talking just before. We were saying how if we decided this year, look, we're not winning. Like, let's forget edge rusher. We got a strong D-line already. Like, you can only play 4 guys on the D-line. You got Lawson, you got Curry, you got Rankins, you got John Franklin Myers, you got Quinnen Williams. Like, you got a lot of bodies down there right now. So if you want to say guard, what was that? That was a crazy sound.
What was that?
That was a
fucking mosquito. You heard it? Did you hear that mosquito?
It sounded like
getting destroyed.
It sounded like a pop.
That was I got a mosquito flew into my ear with my ear pod, so I had to kill him.
Throw it out.
That was the sound of an ear pod popping out of my ear hole.
That made me chuckle just a little bit. I see it. Sean says, "I seen it. I saw it happen."
Yeah, man. I'm
Flair goes butt plug.
I'm literally sitting here. Literally sitting spraying myself every few minutes.
I just bought this thing. The house we just bought, I have like a little over an acre property, and there's this thing called a Dynatrap. It's like this big contraption with a UV light on it and a fan, and I guess it emits CO2 because of whatever it's coated in, and it attracts mosquitoes and things like that. So you put it out with an extension cord, like out of the end of your property. I bought the 1 acre size one, and this thing just friggin' sucks in bugs. It's awesome. And it's like not even like bug season yet, but I've caught like a whole bunch of it. And they were calling me Bug Hitler at work because it sucks in it sucks in the bugs and dehydrates them, and that's how they like die. It's not like they're getting zapped and shocked. I was like, oh, I feel like a terrible person, but it's a bug. I was like, I don't know, it's gonna bite me.
Mosquitoes are intrusive, but we didn't go bother them. We didn't look for them. They're coming over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're coming over here.
Yeah.
They're trying to suck off my life force, my needed blood. That's what they want. They want my life force. You got to kill them.
Guys, we hit where is it? We hit over 250 likes. At 300, we're going to give away another qualifier. So I'm going to pick a winner right now. So if you want to get qualified to win a shirt at the end of this stream, all you got to do is hit the like button and hang out with us for just a little bit. And then make sure you tune in with us at the end, or not the end, but for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're going to be streaming all 3 days of the draft, and we are going to be picking people to qualify for a jersey giveaway. It's going to be a lot of fun. Mutt Vials is our qualifier right now. Mutt Vials dropping in. Ooh, I like it. Ooh, I get to pick another one too because we just eclipsed 300.
Get them up. Get those likes.
Let's go. Keep hitting the like button. We got 500 people in here. There's no reason we can't have 500 likes in here. I know you guys.
That never makes sense to me, right?
No, it's because we get some people that'll put it on and they're just doing other stuff. They're like tapping away and like watching other things going on. Liam says I smashed Nightbot's wife. That's why he never picks me. Oh. See, Wally got picked again. See, Wally. Sorry.
After he got my Manscaped package. That's what did it. That's what put him over.
That's what it was. See, if you enter code, is it just Jets? Is the code
Jets 20?
Jets 20. Jets 20 gets you Nightbot. Liking you real good. All right, Ben Keeley. Ben Keeley will be our next qualifier. Hopefully I pronounced that right. When we get up to 350 likes, we'll do another qualifier, and we'll give away a shirt at the end of this stream. Oh, wait, it's throwing multiple winners. All right, we got another winner. Screw it. Why not? All right, Antonio Mancini. Nightbot's just going rogue on me now because I definitely did not hit winner twice. But that is okay. All right. So let's talk about this a little bit. I think the entire draft needs to be about Zach Wilson and his development period. You need to surround him with everything he needs. We're not winning next year anyway. So that's what we were kind of talking about. Like, you're not winning this year. So if you pass on some of the other positions we need, we have 2 first-round picks. We have 2 second-round picks. We're going to have a shit ton of cap space. And we're going to look a lot better if our quarterback looks good next year. So if you surround him with as much talent, you go Tevin Jenkins or Elijah Vera Tucker, 23. You go Wyatt Davis, 34. And then, you come back in the 3rd round. Maybe you take I don't know if you take a swing at a cornerback there, probably, maybe a linebacker. I like the idea of adding a speed threat on the outside. I feel like that's what we're lacking with Wilson's arm strength right now. I think if you could get someone like who's the guy from Oklahoma State? Was it Wallace, I think? I feel like he had a good contested catch rate. Matt, how do you feel about surrounding Zach Wilson, like making this draft entirely about Zach Wilson and just punting on all the other positions?
So are you saying just strictly all offense? Is that what the question is?
Maybe not all offense, but definitely like a 70-30 split.
I would skew offense. I'm not saying forget about defense entirely, but I do think you need to skew a little bit more towards offense. But we talked about it. Corner is definitely a need. You probably need 2, a slot and a outside corner. You'd probably like to take another swing at edge, maybe later, and linebacker. So that's 4 right there. The other, what we have, 10 picks? Go 6 offense, 4 defense. That's kind of where I'm sitting. And again, skew towards Zach Wilson early, and you want to take swings later on the defense. Okay, I'm good with that, but I don't think you can go all one way. He just did that domestically.
He just did. How does that happen? Did it do it for me?
No, you're hearing that.
How did you do that?
Let's see.
Do anything?
Yeah.
You see these bugs, man? I'm literally under attack, man. There are bugs like this big. I'm in the Virginia mountains. It's like with a huge bright fluorescent light on. I might turn this off. How's that look? Can I just?
Oh, now it looks like a bug light. It's kind of cool. It's like spooky.
Yeah, this is just my awning. Here, look. See.
I like it. Oh, very cool. I still love that flag. That flag's a great flag. Oh, you got lights under your awning. That's bad.
Yeah, that's where I'm hanging out. I'm literally over a lake right now, so there's lots of fucking bugs, man.
Oh, yeah. That makes a ton of sense. So, Green Bean, what about you? What are you thinking about going offense or like skewing the draft heavily towards Zach Wilson specifically?
Well, it's funny. I was listening to O'Leary's podcast this week, and he had a caller that called in. I forget who it was, but he brought up a good point. He said, when you go all one side of the ball, like, so let's say you use all 10 picks on offense and this team starts to gel. Next year, you're starting out with entirely rookie defense. Like if you bring in, then try to bring up the defense later. It can be detrimental. And I don't think it's exactly like that, but I think, just like I said, skewing it and leaning it toward offense, like 60-40, 70-30 is fine. But you need to be bringing up players from all over the team to develop together. And you got to think contract situations later and all. You got to have the long game. It's not as easy as like, hey, we didn't build around Sam this time. Now we're going to get a quarterback. Let's use 9 picks to protect them and make them succeed. I get it, but that's short game. It's very right now. It's those types of feelings. Like the long game is like, no, man, we need a linebacker. We need we got to start bringing players up together all around the team. So I think it probably would be a good idea to skew offense, unlike McCagnon bringing in Darnold and then using the draft to grab 2 defensive tackles and 2 cornerbacks and a running back, and I mean on a tight end, you know. But at the same time, I think having some sort of balance to it would be more beneficial for the long run.
So let me throw this at you then. Let's say we go, offensive line at 23 and 34. Now we're going into the 3rd round, and you're trying to think where the value lies, where you could get starters for your defense. You're probably talking a slot corner, a linebacker. You could take a swing on an edge. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But would you try to go heavy on like the potential starter side of things? And then come next year, you have the 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, then really start addressing like premier positions, like an elite edge rusher, like a cornerback. Is that how you would kind of gear it, or would you still try to go with the edge and the corner, even in like the 3rd round? Green Bean or Matt, either one of you guys.
Go ahead, Matt.
Corner in the 3rd round, you were asking?
Well, just like I think if you're looking at the 3rd round specifically, starting linebackers, definitely possible there. I think as you start getting, 3rd round's probably the latest you want to try and find your starting cornerback. We got lucky with Bryce Hall, and maybe Douglas can pull a rabbit out of a hat again. But like, I think finding starting caliber players, that's why like a running back in the 4th round, that feels like a decent spot for that. A deep threat at the end of the 3rd round feels like that could be a spot where you can get a starter. A kicker in the 6th round at the end of the draft, that you're getting a starter for a position, just like we did with the punter, like those sorts of things. Like when you're thinking a starter at a position of need rather than, maybe addressing edge or corner where we know we have holes.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Like, I think in a perfect world, again, it's all dependent on how the board breaks. But let's say like my dream scenario would be quarterback at 2, offensive line at 23, corner at 34, then probably in the 3rd round, maybe slot corner like Elijah Molden and Kenny Gainwell. And then I think I'd look at linebacker. I really want Darden in the 5th round. He's just a wide receiver who would take the top off of defense. And then
I've heard a lot of people like him. That's that's the small school guy, right? Is that
North Texas, I think.
Yeah, yep.
And then I'm missing a position I got to take a swing on. I don't remember. With the 2nd, 6th round pick, a kicker, I guess, and then insert a 2nd swing, maybe another offensive lineman with the 1st, 6th round pick.
Yeah. John says can't wait for the NFL draft. He's excited. I'm excited. I can't wait. We're all pumped up about it. Isaac, where did Isaac go? Isaac. Oh no, hold on? I might have lost Isaac's super chat. Let me. Isaac and Marcus. Okay, so Isaac says, how would you guys feel if the Pats do trade up for Fields? I don't care. I don't give a shit about the Patriots right now. Like, that's sort of where I'm at. Like, I'm more concerned with the Bills and the Dolphins than I am with the Patriots at this point in time. If they decide to trade up for Fields, I don't love it because I don't want to see Fields in the division. And I think what I like least is that the Jets could have taken Fields and will be compared to Fields with Belichick versus Wilson with Saleh. So maybe that's a little frustrating from that point of view. Matt, what do you think? How would you feel if the Pats traded up for Fields?
I would be mortified. That scares the life out of me. I don't like that at all. I like Justin Fields a lot, and I think he would be very, very good in New England or in San Francisco. I think he'd be very, very good there. I want no part of Trey Lance or Justin Fields do I want going to the New England Patriots. They could have Mac Jones, have him stand like a statue. Kyle Trask, sure, have him stand like a statue. I'm okay with that. I don't want them having any fun with Justin Fields or Trey Lance.
Green Bean, how you feeling about Pats trading up for Fields?
I think the thing to remember is that there are 32 teams, and we have already talked about probably 100 players that everybody agrees they like. I'm just going to tell you that those teams that we don't like are going to get good players. It's going to happen. It's going to be one way or the other. They're going to grab Najee Harris. They're going to grab Justin Fields. Like some of those guys are going to our division. I kind of agree with what you said, Ryan. I think at this point, What I'm really looking for is our focus on our team. It doesn't matter what any of those teams do. We're competitive and can beat them on any day. That's what I want. I want this dynasty thing to be over. That's what I want. And I want, just a competitive division with us when we walk into a game against the Bills, the Patriots, or Dolphins. We can win it at any given time, and not by luck, like a trap game or some shit, but like that we're good, and that's what I want. I think that's more fun, and when it's like that, you don't really worry about who goes anywhere. That said, I hope they don't get them. You know what I mean? I'm hoping they don't. I'm hoping they make a dumb move. But like, look, 2 years ago, I was very upset that they got N'Keal Harry. He was one of my favorite receivers in the draft. I don't know what happened to that guy. Unbelievable, his fall from grace. I don't understand it. But
the Patriots just can't develop wide receivers. I don't know what it is. They just can't do it for the life of them.
It's weird, right?
They needed like a Hall of Famer in Randy Moss. So I guess you got Edelman. Edelman and Welker are both real good. Marcus Metcalf drops in with a super chat. Says thoughts on if we don't go defense until day 3. So you're talking 4th round. So if we did not go defense, you're probably looking offensive line probably at 23 and 34.
Huh?
And then in the 3rd round, you're probably talking wide receiver or tight, or maybe you go offensive line, tight end, wide receiver, running back. Is that how you would wind up getting not a defensive player in the first 2 days? Greenbean, how do you think the board could fall where the Jets don't take a defensive player in the first 2 days?
Yeah, well, I think it's very possible. I mean, if they take a quarterback at 2, which seems likely, they take quarterback at 2, and then an offensive lineman that we like is sitting there at 23, and they decide that the value for their offensive lineman is there at 34, and they go into the 3rd thinking, okay, we're going to see who's, where our board lies, and a guy like Hunter Long is sitting there. They can grab a tight end, and then Anthony Schwartz is sitting there, and he's just in the value supersedes what's there at linebacker, edge, cornerback. I could see it. I don't think it's likely. I think I could see the first 3 picks being offense, but if that happens, I'm almost guaranteeing that pick 66 is defense. It's just I struggle with that one, but it could happen. It all depends on their board. I think they're going to be true to the board.
Matt, what do you think about not going defense until day 3 potentially? What would have to happen, you think?
Again, it would have to be Greenbean kind of hit it. It would have to depend on how the board fell. I don't know how much I would like that, especially with the holes at corner. But I mean, there is a world where you could make it work. Like, I'm not going to sit here today and say, "Oh my God, that would be awful." And then the players that they come away, like Elijah Vera Tucker's there at 23, and they land another really good offensive lineman at 34, and then they add a 2 weapons in the 3rd round. Like, then okay, like how could I sit here and complain at that point?
Yeah, that's fair. I think a lot of it has to do with how the board falls and who's exactly available at which slot. And because if you can address offensive line and you get to, like, who knows, maybe something squirrely happens and you get friggin' Elijah Vera Tucker 23, and then maybe someone you really like at 34 sits there. Like, what happens if Tevin Jenkins falls? And you get Jenkins and you get Elijah Vera. Oh man, I can't think like that.
You never know, man. There could be a crazy run on the wide receivers. There could be a crazy run on cornerbacks. Who knows if all of a sudden you start seeing Surtain and Horn and Newsom and all these guys start going off the board, and then somebody takes Farley because they don't want to be out of and then all of a sudden you're sitting there and you're left with guys that you didn't think were going to be there when you took a balanced approach going through your mocks and everything. It happens every single year in one form or another, and I would say it's going to happen this year. I mean, look at dude. I'm telling you, the fact that Denzel Mims slid last year, not only out of the 1st, but to the back end of the 2nd, was ridiculous. And it's like I said, I mean, I could look at certain receivers and say, absolutely not. I don't care what a team was thinking. They needed a different skill set and all that. I get it. But Denzel Mims is a 1st-round talent. He was one of the best receivers in that class for a good reason. And we got a steal. I never thought in a million years that he would be there for 48, much less 59. When we traded, I was pissed. I thought it was same old Jets. I really did.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, again, and I'm using that example to just say it happens every year. You never know what's going to happen. There are surprises, both good and bad, every year. That's why having a GM that knows how to capitalize is so important. And we haven't had that in over a decade, man.
I was talking to someone recently about the idea of the Jets potentially trading up last year into the top 10. I think it was with Jacksonville. They had a trade worked out where if the tackles went off the board prior to them, they could have gone up to go get their guy. And I want to say they were sitting at 8 maybe last year. So when I'm looking this year,
I'm sorry, I cut out for a second.
With the Jets last year sitting at pick 11, they had deals worked out to trade up into the top 10, like with Jacksonville, which I think was at pick 8 or so. Yeah. And they were able to like, okay, 2 guys have come off the board already. All right, let's jump up and let's go get our guy, now, because there's a good shot you're not going to get. You don't want to have the 4th pick of the tackles, I guess, when you're sitting at 11. So I think that you're going to see something relatively similar with the Jets this year with those offensive linemen. Like if you see Slater go, if you see Tevin Jenkins go, if you see Elijah Vera Tucker go, or, whatever it is, and they start going on a run, I think there's probably some deals that are being worked out behind the scenes where it's like, okay, hey, look, if we see these guys going, what would it take to trade up and move up to that pick? I could see that happening.
Yeah, well, that's a really good example, Ryan. I mean, like we just heard in the most recent press conference that Joe Douglas said he had some work in place to potentially move up, and everybody, all the beat writers took that and said the Jets are working on a trade up. And it's like, it's not to say that it can't happen, but what I was reminding people is like, look, just like Ryan just said, this is exactly what he did last year too. He didn't need to do it, but he had it in place. So it doesn't mean that it's any different tactic than he used last year, and it doesn't guarantee that he's going to or not going to. It just shows that our GM is working on these things ahead of time. He's plan B, contingency plans. If these guys are coming off, I want to have a deal in place to move up and do all that. If it falls like he wants, he doesn't need to, and he has trade backs in place. And it's really exciting to know. And it doesn't mean, though, that we're definitely jumping up if the board falls the way we like it.
Yeah, 100%. Anthony G, get ready. We're going to go over this super chat real quick, and then we're going to shoot over to you. Sneakers to Boots comes in with a super chat, says, 2 days. Thanks for all the videos over the past year, guys. Let's blow the Jets official draft stream out of the water again like last year. I'm repping a Namath jersey for luck tomorrow. Wall Street and Broadway. Wall Street Wilson, baby. Oh, we just eclipsed 350 likes on the stream. So we are going to get another qualifier for our t-shirt giveaway at the end of the stream. Man, it's going quick. We only have 30 minutes left. Jeez. Every time you guys hit the like button, we get closer and closer to another qualifier. So drop a like. We got 530 people in here, and we got another like 20 or 30 on Facebook right now. So make sure you drop a like. It helps out. Jack D, you are going to be a qualifier for our t-shirt giveaway at the end of the stream. Do you guys remember last year when we were doing our live stream for the draft and we're like going back and forth and we hop over to like the Jets live stream, like the official draft party? We blew it out of the water. It wasn't even close. We had like 17 or 2,000. We had like 1,700 or 2,000 people in this stream at one point. And then it was like, we scrolled over there. I think they actually ended theirs. I think that's what wound up happening. It's like, just flex some muscles on them. The YouTube creators team is strong. Okay, Anthony G, real quick, I'm going to go to one other super chat because there was one other sitting here, and then we'll bounce over to you. Tony Lee says favorite middle round guy, and favorite late round guy. Kerry Vincent Jr. would probably be my late round slot guy potentially. I think that's an exciting speed sort of player for the slot cornerback role. Favorite middle round guy, I got to go Gainwell in the 4th round. I've loved Gainwell. I don't need to go if we don't take a running back this year, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. But man, he's a cool running back to watch. Green Bean, what about you? What are you thinking? Favorite middle round guy, favorite late round guy?
I like the wide receiver out of Ole Miss, Elijah Moore, for a slot receiver. I really like him in the mid rounds. I think a little bit later, one of my favorite players is Charles Snowden, the linebacker. He's kind of like a will linebacker out of UVA. I like him a whole bunch. So yeah, I mean, there's so many guys, but I'll stick with those two: Elijah Moore and Charles Snowden.
What about you, Matt?
For the mid round, well, this is someone that I thought was going to be a first rounder who just continues to fall, and that's Patrick Jones. I'm still riding the Patrick Jones train, so he's one of my favorites. And I'm going to go back to the train on Darden for a late round speedster.
Ooh, I was gonna say Jones. I sort of had. I was like, I think he might be third round, but like you said, I think when I did my most recent mock draft, I was looking at him. I was like, man, he was there in the fourth round. Like this doesn't feel like it computes. It doesn't like at all. Like if you had told me, we traded Sam for a second, I would have taken Patrick Jones in the second at some point like that, and I wouldn't have blinked an eye. So it's a little goofy to see him falling that far. All right, we are going to bring in Anthony G. Anthony G, what's up, brother? Welcome to Talking Jets.
What's up, boys?
Hey,
Ryan, I
what's
was
up,
I was talking yesterday. Matt in agreements. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you
right
too.
on, dude. Nice to meet you.
And before we start talking, Matt, just to let you know something. When I was on your live stream today, I'm the Anthony that told you should get a bottle of champagne and chug it after the Jets make their pick.
I'm gonna stop at the liquor store tomorrow. How about that?
I'm just gonna shotgun and White Claws and
Perfect.
Oh man,
Love it.
I could. That would be fun.
So what's up,
Anthony,
guys?
what are you feeling? What does it feel like to be just? What are we now? 2 days away from draft time. I got the warm and fuzzies. I can't wait. I'm excited. I can't sleep. I'm gonna put you put anything on your pillow? You wear your pajamas background?
Man. I'm waiting patiently. I can't wait.
Dude. So ideal situation. What is your perfect first night of the draft?
I was talking to you about this last night. Obviously, I told my quarterback at 2 is easily Zach Wilson. He's been my QB1 since like Matt, like you said, he's been your QB2 since November. That's literally me. I was never really too high on Justin Fields. I just wasn't, man. Like I said, I don't think. I like Fields, but I don't think it's right for him in New York. And Wilson, like a lot of people think that Wilson's just the better fit in the offense. It's just a fact. Like the Niners, they're not even considering taking Fields because I think maybe because he doesn't fit the system like Trey Lance does or Mac Jones. There's many reasons why. There's a lot of other reasons why I really don't want Field at 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so then at 23, you got Zach Wilson. What happens at 23 that would make you think we had a great?
Like I told you this last night. I think there's it's possible that we trade up for a guy like Elijah Vera Tucker. It's possible. Like that's a guy I really, really want. I think Creed Humphrey's going to be there at 34.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to go Elijah Vera Tucker 23 and then Creed Humphrey 34 because I just want to build our O line up because and then since you're going to draft Creed Humphrey, you're going to move Connor McGovern to guard and let's see if he can prove himself there. It's just
I think for me if it goes. I think it depends how it's going to sound weird, but how the Jets feel about Wyatt Davis is going to almost dictate how willing they are to move up. Like if they think Wyatt Davis is a starting guard, then I think they sit tight at 23. If they think the last good guard that they're really looking to pull the trigger on is Tevin Jenkins or Elijah Vera Tucker, then you could see them slide up to pick 20, pick 19, somewhere in there just to leapfrog a few teams to get a guy. I don't want to see a trade up. I would like to sit back.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. No. I don't think we trade up. If anything, we trade down.
So now at 34, do you see at the end of the night, day one of the draft, what's going to happen is everyone's going to tune out after the 23rd pick, and the Jets are going to wind up trading up from 34 up to pick 31, and everyone's going to be like, oh, man, I didn't realize. I didn't see that coming. We're going to be here like, oh, man.
Oh, my God. I would be so excited, dude. But I don't really know.
What pick do you think has to have to go from 34 into the first round? What player or position maybe would you have to see happen where maybe that 5th year option is so valuable that they would have to trade up?
Maybe there is a decent way you're able. I don't know how likely it is. I think it's really unlikely, but maybe you can see if you can get something. If if you can put CJ Mosley in the deal, maybe there's a solid chance that happens, but I don't know how likely it is though. And then obviously you're putting in the 34th pick and probably another pick. I would try to Mosley. Like I like Mosley, but like I just don't think he's gonna be like that Pro Bowl linebacker he was. I don't think he's gonna be like that again. I wish he would be. I don't think it's gonna happen. He's wasting half our cap.
I'm so worried about what's going to happen with linebacker because I want Mosley to be the guy that he was.
I personally want us to re-sign Hewitt.
I don't think our future linebackers on our team right now. Jarrad Davis, maybe he's like a guy we re-sign after the year, but it doesn't feel like our starting linebacker is here right now. Like I think Mosley's gone. I think that contract is such an albatross. There's no way they hold on to him.
Yep.
Green Bean, any thoughts on possibly trading up into the end of the first round from 34? What would have to happen for you to be like okay with that? And what player or position would you want to target there?
Well, in truth, I'm hoping that we just keep our picks. Like I think we did it was a lot of work that went into getting us here, and I happen to like a lot of players in this draft. Like I like especially offensive linemen. There are guys throughout the second, third, fourth round that I think are plug and play. So using one of those to go up 5 spots, I mean, if he does it, he does it. But I would prefer not to do that. As far as Creed Humphrey sliding to 34, I struggle to see that as well. I don't think Creed Humphrey will make it past Green Bay. He just lost Lindsley in free agency. I think they're going to grab him. He's that good. And what was the other thing? I don't remember. But yeah, so I don't know. I'd prefer not to trade. Oh yeah, Hewitt. The thing is, I'd like to re-sign Hewitt too. But Hewitt is depth, man. Like Hewitt, if Hewitt is our starting linebacker, then we already know the ceiling. Like we're limited. He can't cover very well. He's an adequate run blocker. Like coming off the bench for a few
Green
plays.
Bean, just to let you know, the thing that I like about him is that he's all around the field. He just gets so many tackles. That's like the thing that I really like about him. I know he's terrible.
He's fine.
Like against the Chargers, he kept on chasing Keenan Allen down. He just couldn't stop him.
Yeah, well,
Matt, what about you?
I'd rather be able to stop him.
I'm there.
Do you remember a cornerback we had by name of Ray Mickens? Do you remember Ray Mickens? Ray Mickens was
that was like late 90s, right?
Yeah. Ray Mickens was a slot receiver. He was 5'8". And he just kept winning the battle. They kept trying to upgrade him, but he just played harder. He was really like one of those hardworking Napoleon complex little men. And he was scrappy, and he kept like leading the team in tackles or being close to the top. And that's really great. And that was used as a reason that he was so good. But the truth of the matter is that he couldn't stop anybody from catching the ball. So it's like, while he was always right there, he made the tackle. It's all good. But he couldn't stop anybody from catching the ball. And that's why he wasn't well, it's like, that's why we needed to upgrade him. And the fact that we couldn't showed our inability as an organization to do so. And he was a good player for depth. And that's how I look at Hewitt. I think he's very good depth, but he's been forced into starting role with us. And I think if that were the case again, we would have failed the linebacker position.
I love it, dude. Anthony G, thank you so much for tuning in with us, and we will see you draft night, brother.
See you guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Boom. Real quick, what do you guys think about Jonathan Cooper, edge out of Ohio State? I'll be honest, I don't know enough about him. I cannot comment on it. I apologize. I tend to do my okay, this is what I want for first round, second round. And then I reassess after the second night and I see who's left on the board and I try to piece it together at that point. So I don't have anything good to say about Jonathan Cooper. Matt or Green Bean, anything to add? Matt?
No.
Green Bean, what about you?
What was it? Jonathan
Cooper.
Yeah. I mean, we were just talking about him the end of last week. I forget who I was talking about him with. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think he'd be fine. I'm starting to. I like what Matt said. Like, I'm also a big fan of Patrick Jones, and he's sliding down the board. But I got to be honest, man. I'm starting to think that edge is not the position that we need in this draft. You know what I mean? Like, I think we did some adequate work, like you said earlier, Ryan. There's a lot of guys on our rotation right now. I mean, grabbing one is fine, but we still like to see what Zuniga and Huff have. We have John Franklin Myers. We have obviously Carl Lawson and Vinny Curry and all these guys. So I'd like to see what's going on with that bunch rather than muddy it up when you don't have any. We have 2 linebackers on the roster. You know what I'm saying? Or tight ends that can't catch and all that sort of thing. So edge, it's weird. For the first time in forever, I think that we might have done a good job addressing it.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I think that's almost where I'm at. Like, if there's a really good edge that I like, then okay. Like Patrick Jones in the 3rd, you want to pull that trigger? Fine. Won't hear any complaints from me. Liam in the chat goes, is there any way to get the chicken on the screen in StreamYard? I haven't figured it out yet. If I could, I would. If I could have the little timer and have it go, pew, chicken go flying. Ali, I see you in there. I'm going to end on you, but I want to get to John Salty Nuts first, and then I will bring you in. So hang tight, Ali. John, welcome to Talkin' Jets. How's it going, brother?
Going well. What's up, boys?
What's up, man?
Oh, you know, just another day in paradise. How you feeling? Draft night's 2 nights away.
Yeah, man, I'm like punch drunk from all these mock drafts.
What's the worst pick you saw the Jets get at like 23? Of like I feel like the Joe Tryon one from Chris Sims.
I think the one you had on the screen tonight, Chris Sims.
Oh man, I like Joe Tryon. I just don't like him at 23. I don't like him at 34 either.
Honestly, like I know like the top play is pretty good, but you guys go.
Can you guys hear him?
And, like
I can hear him. Yeah,
I don't.
I think Green Bean.
I don't know who the hell half these players are, so I'm like, yeah, okay, you know.
Yeah.
It's what I get from this channel. It's the only insight I get on it, really.
Well, apparently I'm not doing a good enough job to bring you the deeper players this year. No, there's definitely there's something to be said for each round of the draft. So like rounds 1 and 2, I'm super dialed in on, and there's certain guys that I like later on that I see keep popping up in mock drafts. And I think that's where I tend to go on things. And then as a round pass, like, you know, we finished the first round, we get a night to reset, just like football teams do. Everyone sort of resets. You kind of recalibrate your board and you say, okay, we took the offensive lineman at 23. What happens at 34? We see 3, 4, 5 first round talents sitting there. Do we address a different position than I would have gone without knowing what 23 was? So it changes a lot. You must be in Florida, my friend, because that is a nice pool cage. Whereabouts in Florida are you calling from?
Port St. Lucie.
Ooh, very cool. Wow, man. Really? I love see, we need to get a bug screen for Green Bean. Just put it over the camper.
It's funny.
That looks like my pool. I lived in Hollywood, Florida for about that. It looks exactly like my pool.
Wow.
Why can't I hear him? What the hell's going on? Where's he from?
I don't know. I can hear him just fine.
I can't hear him at all.
Do you even have your AirPods in, Green Bean?
Yeah, buddy.
I was going to tell Green Bean to throw a banana on the ground.
Where is he in Florida?
He's in Port St. Lucie. He's saying you should throw a banana on the ground because it'll attract the bugs.
Can
you hear me, Green Bean?
I was a drummer in a band, and we would play. We'd play down by the water, and the mosquitoes at sunset would chew my legs up. So,
oh my god!
So you throw a banana on the ground?
Yeah, and it keeps them away. Somebody told me that, and it worked.
No way! I'm gonna have to try that. I got bananas sitting in the fridge.
Green Bean, he says throw a banana down; it'll help.
I'm serious.
It'll help with the bugs. Yeah. Why not? I feel like a banana is a pretty common kitchen. So I don't know. Do you? Oh, go on. Sorry, John.
So what time does this live stream on draft night start?
So I put it down for 7. I actually didn't talk to Green Bean or Matt about what time they're good for. I just said 7 o'clock. So I guess maybe I'll be hopping on at 7, and then if they're ready, then they could be ready to go at 7.
Probably 7:30 for me. I'll be hopping on.
Okay, that's fair.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, Green Bean. What about you? How you feeling? What time you think? I don't think Green Bean can even hear me. He definitely can't hear me. There he goes. Green Bean, what time are you good on Thursday? I think I advertised 7 o'clock, but we don't necessarily have to go on at 7. I could go.
Where's
on
he from in Florida? That's all I care about. I'm good all day.
Port St. Lucie.
Port St.
Lucie.
Oh, okay. Port St. Lucie. Got it.
Yeah.
It's a nice port. I used to go boating up there. It's beautiful.
Can you hear? Can you hear now, Green
I
Bean?
hear you. Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, Yahtzee.
Yeah, man. You probably know about the no-see-ums down here, right?
Oh, I know all about them. Go, 4:30, 5 o'clock. Go in the house, buddy.
Those things start nipping at you. You don't even know it, man. It looks like you ran naked through a paintball game.
Yeah, dude. Down in the Keys.
Awful.
It's the funniest thing. Down in the Keys, like Miami and the Keys, literally everybody just gets up at 4 o'clock and leaves the beach and go. Like it's a ghost town because the no-see-ums run the roost at twilight, don't they? Everybody just goes goodbye.
Well, is that a? I mean, I'm assuming it's a bug. It's not like someone coming up with a stick and just hitting you. Like, I got welts all over now.
I moved down here from Long Island, and I thought they were pulling my leg when they were calling them no-see-ums.
Yeah,
it's like you got a Matter Daddy on your shoulder.
You can't.
What's a Matter Daddy?
Yeah, the no-see-ums. I mean, literally, their name is because you can't see them. I mean, if you look real close and grab, you can get it. But it's like that you just get these bites all over you. They come in force, and you can't tell where it's coming from. They're fucking so small. Yeah, dude.
But
it's one of the reasons I left Florida.
Man, I really appreciate all you guys, the videos and everything. And Green Bean, I don't know how the hell you do it while you're traveling on the road, man. It's pretty impressive.
Well, thank you.
It absolutely is.
I love it.
John, I'm going to jump over to Ali. I hope you're hanging out with us come draft night. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the chat.
We'll be there. We'll see you guys.
I love it. Bye. John, take it easy. All right, boys and girls, we got our buddy Ali. What's up, brother? Welcome to Talking Jets.
What's going on, guys?
Guys, if you haven't tuned into Ali's channel, Ali runs one of the best Instagram pages, loyal NY Jet fans. Make sure you sub him up. He's got a podcast. He's live with Richie from Jets Media every Monday night. Make sure you sub him up. Ali, how you feeling? Draft night's just 2 nights away now.
Yeah, man, I'm losing sleep, bro. I'm losing sleep. It's finals week 2 for me, so I've been doing finals work, and then I'm fasting too, so it's catching up to me now. So
wow.
So now it's like all at once, like everything just attacking me this week. But like, you know, it's fun. I'm finally excited for the draft. I'm gonna be live streaming with Richie, so it's gonna be a fun 3 days. But I mean, I just wanted to come. I just want to know who my quarterback is. That's all I want to know.
Oh hell yeah! It's got to be Wilson at this point, right? Like, would you? Be,
Wilson, but like,
we're all gonna lose our mind if like it goes some other direction. I'd be there's part of me that like if Wilson goes 1, I was so like dead set on Broadway Baker. If you take Wall Street Wilson away from me, like the day of the draft, and we get Trevor Lawrence, I'm gonna be so confused and excited and happy and sad and just sorry. Go on, Ali. I'm ranting.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just want, like, Roger Goodell going on the podium and saying Zach Wilson's our quarterback. That's what I want. Like, I know it's Zach Wilson, but I just need to make it a reality because, like, right now it's just losing my mind. This debate of Fields and whatever. I don't want to make that case with Fields anymore. Just know my quarterback because I don't want to argue the Jets Twitter who's with Fields because I'm on Fields' board too. I like Fields, but Zach Wilson's the pick. Like, Zach Wilson's the obvious pick. I've seen interviews from, like, Young on the BYU channel and stuff like that, and they're talking so highly of him. They're talking so highly about the Jets. They're so talking about Joe Douglas. They love Robert Salah. They love everyone. So I'm just like, just make it happen now. Like, it's 2 days away, and I mean, we're almost there. We're almost there.
Dude, friggin' Joe Douglas at the BYU Pro Day must have loved having the mask on because you couldn't see his shit-eating grin the entire time he was watching Wilson whip balls. All of that. Oh, let me just run out to the left and just crank 160 yards the opposite direction. Like, oh God, I got a big old chubby from that. I just want to see Zach Wilson in green and white. Yeah. I want to be excited again because I was so excited for Sam, and the last 2 years under Adam Gase was just such like a wet blanket on this franchise. Like, just not having Gase, like even if we had Sam, but not having Gase, I feel like is just such a breath of fresh air for this organization. This feels like Rex post Mangini, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think this is what the Jets needed. You know, I remember I came on your podcast in November, October, and I told you guys that they needed a fresh start. They needed They need to wipe everyone out, and they pretty much wiped the entire coaching staff out. And now there's a feel in the organization that we hadn't had in a long time, and we have trust in in ownership a little bit now. I mean, because they're letting Joe Douglas handle the business. That's what they're doing now, and they're finally understanding that they don't need to run the organization anymore. They don't need to run the team because they have football guys now that are going to run it correctly. And you know, I was listening to the entire podcast. You guys were talking today, and you know, for the later rounds, I was debating on what they want to do. For a cornerback, there's a lot of heated discussion in the comment section, and I'm not for like cornerback early. If I'm not in the majority of people wanting a corner because I feel like Douglas is gonna try to look at he's not gonna look at all the needs. You're not gonna get all the needs in this draft, and obviously you're gonna grab a corner or two, but you might want to grab the best player available, and that could be even Travis, you know, running back. You know, it could be 34, it could be 23. We don't know, but the Jets are trying to win games, right? They're trying to be a competitive football team for years to come. So they're not going to look at every single need. You know, they're not going to look at that, especially with the cornerback position. The Jets finally have a pass rush. Well, are scheduled to have a pass rush. Hopefully there's no injuries. So, I mean, I trust Bryce Hall with everything. I think he's a great corner. And then Bless Austin, we still need to figure out if he can be a good cornerback too. And then you draft one or two guys, maybe bring Richard Sherman. You got a solid group back there. Maybe get a safety later on in the draft and solidify that secondary because we don't know what's going to happen with Marcus May next year. Is he going to stay here next year off the franchise tag? We don't know. So there's a lot of things to look at. The Jets are not close to winning a Super Bowl, going to the playoffs. I would be shocked if we went to the playoffs. But, you know, it's just trying to build around Zach Wilson, right? And that's what you have to figure out. Offensive line, got to go wide receiver, got to get another running back, got to get a tight end that can catch the ball, and, you know, build the team the right way because we did not do that for Sam Darnold, and a lot of people are not understanding that we're not going to try to make the same mistakes that we did with Sam Darnold, with Mike McKinnon, who drafted him and didn't do anything to help him. So I think that's what you should be looking at in that perspective. But we'll see. We'll see what his approach is. We've seen Douglas be more conservative and move down a little bit. Maybe this year he's more aggressive and getting his guys. So this year will tell us a lot of what his approach actually is.
100%. Guys, we are just 5-6 minutes away from the end of our live stream. We have 395 likes. All we have to do is get to 400, and we're giving away another qualifier to win potentially a Wall Street Wilson shirt or just like any other shirt that you want from the whole batch of shirts on jetstalk.com. So if you guys
already got those ready to go, I got those ready to go.
Oh, I got them queued up. Right. I've been sending them out to people. Look, that's the Wall Street Bets guy. Look,
that's a nice looking shirt,
right, dude? I thought so. I saw someone else. I gotta throw it on my thing. Someone posted a thing of the Jets logo with if you guys have ever seen Castaway with the Wilson face below it. I was like, that is a good idea. I like that a lot. I'm a big fan of that. All right, we got over 400, so let me put in another qualifier. And then Marty Thompson coming in saying another super chat says, get ready for the biggest night in Jets history. I hope so, but I want the biggest night in Jets history to be a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Not picking a quarterback 3 years after taking another quarterback. Oh, it just makes me so sad. Sean O'Brien, you are going to be qualified to win a shirt in the next few minutes. I'm gonna make Ali pick a number for me, and that's how we're gonna do this. Let's see, we got about 4 minutes. So Ali, if you had to say, oh man, Nightbot's throwing me 2 winners at a time. All right, so Bill Niffelberg. Let's see, this is what happens when Nightbot, it has a mind of its own. I have no idea how this thing chooses one thing or another, and there's probably a better system. If you guys know anything about live streaming and picking people at random, please let me know because I don't understand Nightbot whatsoever. All right, Ali, if you had to pick your perfect first let's call it first 2 rounds because 34 is so close to the first round. If you had to pick your perfect first 2 nights of the draft, what would you say? What would it be?
All right. The perfect, like everything working perfectly for us.
Yep. Yeah, don't tell me Kyle Pitts at 23, though. I'll boot you real quick.
Okay, so Zach Wilson, obviously, and then ABT at 23.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I like ABT too much. I mean, I like JC Horn, too. If he drops somehow, he's not going to drop that far. But if JC Horn's there, I'll take him at 23. That's the only corner I actually wait for at 23 and be like, that's the guy you got to take. But ABT is the other guy I would take. Then at 34, I would probably take Davis. I really do. I like him a lot. I think the Jets need to focus on offensive line. I really do. I think they just need to double down on that and just keep drafting. Just keep drafting that offensive line because they need help there. And you got to protect your quarterback. The Jets obviously got 3 starters from what the 8 signed offensive line they had last year or whatever. So that's a good thing for Douglas, and I think he's going to go heavy on the offensive line. But getting those guys is pretty solid right there. And then the next pick, actually at 34, I would actually take Kadarius Toney too. That's one guy who's not been talked about enough. And he's just a speedster. He's an insane wideout. And I think he changed up the game. Obviously, that probably won't be the pick, but I just like him so much. And there is a lot of wide receiver talent. There's so much wide receiver talent, but Kadarius Toney is up there. He's up there. He will change your offense dynamic. Jamison Crowder is a $10 million hit. So you can just get rid of Crowder next year and pay Toney you can just keep him for 3 years. Right, so that's a cheaper deal for him. So that would change the offense completely. So that's another guy that I would put on my list.
That's impressive because I wouldn't have really thought wide receiver, but if he falls to 34, if he does make it that far, I could get on board with it. It's not something I'd love, but if you get the lineman at 23 and then you get a weapon for Wilson at 34, I don't think anyone can be upset with building around the quarterback after the way our last 3 rookie quarterbacks have fared with our team. Now, for the 3rd round, we have 2 picks in the 3rd round. Are there maybe not so much players, but are there positions that you would like to address if you went quarterback, O-line, wide receiver at 34, or I guess O-line if it's Wyatt Davis potentially? What would you want to have happen, maybe position-wise, in the 3rd round?
3rd round, I would start looking at either a cornerback, a running back, and maybe an edge rusher. I don't think edge rusher should be too high up on their thing, but if a guy like Gregory Rosario, what's his name? Gregory
Rousseau.
Rousseau. Yeah, if he falls there, I mean, that's a good edge rusher right there for us. I like Javonte Williams, a running back. I like Gainwell. We can get him late for Gainwell late. He's always been my top guy, like you, Ryan.
Yeah, dude, 4th round for me is like that. I'm like, woo! If he's there, come on.
Yeah, I mean, if he's there, I will. And if we didn't draft a running back yet, you gotta take him. You got this film is so smooth. I mean, his running style is amazing. I think he's just a perfect fit for this offense, and he could take it to the next level. Because I don't trust any running backs right now on this roster. I just don't. That's the same thing with the tight ends. I don't trust any tight ends on this roster right now. So, those positions need to be addressed. And a tight end is very important in this offense as well, because you saw that in San Francisco with George Kittle. So I think they do need to solidify a tight end. I am not getting on the Chris Herndon hype train again. I am not falling for that once again. I am not.
I'm riding it. Let's go.
I can't. I love Chris Herndon, but I never thought he was going to be an elite tight end in this league. Yeah. He's always an average tight end in my eyes. And if he makes the next step, awesome, cool. But I'm not jumping on the train in March and April. I'm not jumping on that train again because that's just it's just not gonna happen. Herndon being an elite tight end, long shot.
Mike Jerome drops in with a super chat, says, if we're the Niners of the East, you have to build this the right way. I actually thought when he said address edge, I thought he was dropping his address in the super chat to win the shirt. I was like, wow. I was like, this guy is ballsy. He goes address edge with 23, O-line with 34-66. This offense is O-line friendly. We'll find gems. That's something interesting I hadn't really considered. I think if you go 34 with offensive line, I think you have to use a third-round pick on another offensive lineman at some point. You don't want to run it back with like just the second-round pick. I don't know. It's interesting. We were just talking Orlando Brown that was just traded to the Chiefs. Pro Bowl right tackle, switched to left tackle, was a third-round pick. So you could find good guys. This is, Ravens, obviously, where Douglas has some, some loyalties too. So maybe maybe they're thinking the same sort of thing. Draft some O-line a little bit later here. Marty Thompson drops in with a $2 super chat. Thanks so much, Marty. Let's talk about our giveaway, though. We got to the end. Let's see it. Let's try to get one more person. I challenge the chat right now. If you can get us up to 450 likes, we'll give away an extra person. Well, not an extra person. We'll do another qualifier for this shirt giveaway. We're at 421 likes right now. Get us up to 450, and we get one more person qualified to get either a Just End the Suffering shirt, Wall Street Wilson shirt. We've got the division rival line of the Squish the Fish. Sean says, I burned my like. Oh, Sean, make another account quick. We got 433, 17 more picks. Wow, that was math. See, we were so bad at the math before, O'Leary. You and I are saying 9 from 23 to 34. Bad. It's 11. I just rattled off 17 from 433 to 450. That's some math right there. That is knowledge.
There you go. That's
knowledge.
Good.
That is knowledge. We're creeping up ever so slowly. We're at 434. One pick. Come on. Oh, we lost one. Someone doesn't like us. That's what All right, fine. It's your loss, guys. You could have had another qualifier. That's all right. All right. So, Ali, I need you to pick a number 1 through 10.
8.
8. Okay. Now pick up or down.
Down.
Now pick 1 or 2.
2.
All right. See, so now I'm going to go from the bottom of my list. I'm going to pick 8 times. I'm going to skip every other one. That's how this is going to work. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So our winner of tonight's shirt is going to be, Mud Vials was close. It almost got it. Oh. It's RTM 10823. RTM 10823. You are going to be our shirt winner for tonight. Hit me up on Instagram or Facebook or Gmail or something like that. All my links are in the description down below. Hit me up. I'll get your shipping information. I'll send you out a shirt. Unfortunately, the draft shirt will definitely not be there in time because, shipping sucks, unfortunately. But that's all right. All right, boys and girls, we are at the end of our stream. Make sure you hang out with us on, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Ali's going live with Jets Media and Jack over on Jets Media's channel, so make sure you tune into them as well. But we're excited. We're looking forward to the draft. Guys, let's go around the panel. Oh, well, Marty drops in with another super chat. He says, you'll be blokes. Will you? Hold on. Words. These are hard. He says, will you blokes be upset if we pick Najee at 23? Yes. Yeah. I would be disappointed. I would be excited, but I'd be disappointed. Yeah. Green Bean, your thoughts on Najee real quick.
I mean, I think they should, but if they did, I would flip that to excitement in about 4 seconds.
Ali, excited or disappointed with Najee?
I would not be disappointed. I don't think that's a need right now. I really don't. If he falls to 34, maybe. But if they take it 23, then you know that they're trying to build around Zach Wilson. So that's my approach to it. And if they do that, then I'm all for it.
All right, boys. Let's do our closing words from around the panel. Ali, I'll throw it to you. Any last words for our panel?
It's almost time. It's almost time we finally have our quarterback. It's been a rough offseason in a way where we got Sam Darnold gone. We traded him away. and now we're going to have a new quarterback coming into the building, and we'll see what happens. I do think the Jets are on the right track, but we'll see if they can actually put it together. That's the real question mark. But I think Jets fans should be excited. Honestly, it's hard to be excited right now. But, there's a new buzz. There's a new quarterback coming in. He's got sponsored left and right. He's in the Love in New York. And I think we just got to build around him correctly. And if we do, I think we can be, competitive. We can be a watchable football team in a few years, at least. Maybe next year. Hopefully we're watchable next year, but maybe playoffs and competing at a high level in a couple of years.
Dude, we're not even asking for a high bar. We just want I don't want to have to turn my TV off. I want to make videos and be excited about it. Green Bean, any last words for our panel tonight?
I want to let everybody know that we're doing a charity event when I come to New Jersey in a couple of weeks. It's called the Jersey Shore Coaster Tour. We are riding every coaster on the Jersey Shore in one day for charity to help this dog rescue. So on all my pages, you can find the information. You can pledge $2, $5 for every coaster we make it to, or everything, however you want to do it. But all of your assistance, support, participation would be appreciated. And I'll keep reminding everybody as we get closer to the date, which is May 22nd.
Matt, any last words for our panel?
Wait, hold on. 2 sleeps. Bet Matt. 2 sleeps, baby. We got 2 more sleeps.
Man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Wednesday. Thursday is the day. A long weekend ahead. We'll be very busy over here, but it's going to be worth it. I cannot wait. Can't wait.
I am so excited. Boys and girls, make sure you flip your pajamas inside out, put a spoon under your pillow, whatever that is for, making snow happen. But let's make some magic happen draft night, boys and girls. Guys, my name's Ryan. I've been your pilot. I look forward to seeing you guys in just 2 sleeps time. My name's Ryan. Peace.